The Kabul airport was targeted again this morning. Terrorists from the ISIS fired 6 rockets towards the airport. Thankfully, no one was hurt this time. Most of the rockets were intercepted. But the terrorists are becoming more ambitious by the day. Today, they drove to a location close to the airport. They were inside a residential neighborhood, firing rockets from a launcher mounted on a car. This is the story of Afghanistan under the Taliban. Terrorists driving around Kabul with rocket launchers. The next 24 hours are critical. The United States will end its evacuations by tomorrow. U.S. intelligence inputs say another attack is highly likely. Who is going to intercept it? What are America and its allies doing about this? Well, nothing, because they're trying to meet their exit deadline. They have 24 hours left to leave, so they will get out and leave everything into the hands of the Taliban, including the Kabul airport. The transfer of controls is happening. The Taliban have begun taking charge of the airport gates. Our correspondent Anas Malik today went back to the same site where the bomb went off last week. The area used to be flooded with people trying to leave the country. Today it's deserted, with the Taliban guarding some gates. Take a look at this.
I'm standing at the barren side of the Kabul International Airport. This is the military side. These checkposts are those which had US soldiers stationed, and you would see them. Now, just one of these checkposts or watchtowers is where I am witnessing, or I can see it. Perhaps if the camera person can show you as well. There are US soldiers who are stationed. The day of the blast, when I came over here, beyond this point, this place towards my left, where you see the Taliban now, this was in control of the British Army, and here there were people who were waiting. Now, with the Britishers having left, this entire entrance to the hotel, to the Barren Gate, is now under control of the Mujahideen or the Taliban. If my camera person can follow me, and these are protective shields that have been left by the Britishers, which are also now in control of the Taliban. These were supposed to be riot gears. They would hold them and move forward, and now they are now in control of the Taliban. You'd see plenty of Taliban men who are now guarding the entrance to the Abbey Gate, the exit to the Barren Hotel, and onwards to the entrance of the Abbey Gate, where the heinous blast took place on the 26th of August.
So America's departure is on track. They're running away from Afghanistan as quickly as they can. Meanwhile, the terrorists are moving in and they're rebuilding their base in the country. Here's one of them. Amin ul Haq, a senior leader of the Al-Qaeda, also a former aide of Osama bin Laden. He's now back in Afghanistan. Amin ul Haq returned to his native Nangarhar province in what looks like a really expensive SUV. Just look at how this Al-Qaeda leader is being greeted by locals. They know who's going to be in charge in the weeks ahead. Terrorists, some of them pretending to be statesmen. The Taliban are putting together what they call a government. Reports say they've finalized the cabinet. 2 people are calling the shots in government formation. One is Sirajuddin Haqqani, the leader of the Haqqani network, also a terrorist sanctioned by the United Nations. And Mullah Muhammad Yaqub, the son of the Taliban founder Mullah Omar, the head of the Taliban's military commission now. These 2 have been assigned to quote-unquote finalize names for the cabinet. Who is handing out these assignments? Hibatullah Akhundzada, the elusive supreme commander of the Taliban and possibly the emir of the new Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Last week, we repeatedly asked a question, where is Akhundzada, alive or dead, in Afghanistan or in Pakistan? Now the Taliban have responded. They say Akhundzada is very much in Afghanistan, but they haven't answered our next question, which is, why is he hiding? If he is there, why isn't he coming out? Does he plan to rule his country from the shadows? No answer. They say Akhundzada will approve all the names for the cabinet himself. What will this cabinet look like? Key members of the Taliban are guaranteed a place, we are told. The cabinet could have more than 26 members. It is expected to include all members of the Rehbari Shura, which is the leadership council of the Taliban. It's the most important decision-making body of this group. How will the world treat this terrorist regime? Will they lift sanctions against the Taliban? Will they be treated like statesmen, given visas to travel around the world? Will they represent Afghanistan at the United Nations? Well, we don't know. The permanent members of the United Nations are meeting later today. But don't get your hopes high. Remember, the UN does not even designate the Taliban as a terror group. France is pushing for the creation of a safe zone. We'll keep track of the developments for you. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.